On three, 1, 2, 3.
Keep on the longboard, C-collar, and rebreather. We monitor O2, CO2. He's gonna need a CT. Come on, buddy. Try and wake up for me. All right, localizes pain, incomprehensible sounds, no eye-opening, GCS 8.
Trey lost control of his dive. That never happens to him.
Caught a piece of the lower board on his way down.
He just folded into the water. He wasn't even moving.
How high was that?
7.5 meters. After they pulled him out, his body was just limp.
No bony deformities?
That mean you think he's paralyzed?
We can't know that yet, right?
We need to do imaging. We'll know more when we do.
Is he gonna be all right?
She's right. It's too early to tell. Is there somewhere quiet we can take Mom and Dad to wait?
Please follow me. I want to stay with him.
Let the doctor do his work.
We'll update you as soon as we can. Gotta go.
Trey? Thank God, baby.
Hi, Trey. I'm Dr. Hunter. You're in York Memorial Hospital. Do you remember what happened to you? Yeah. Good. That's a good sign. How are you feeling?
Like, I fell off a diving board and hit another diving board.
He sure sounds like himself.
Well, Trey's imaging looks good. He has a concussion, but there's no indication of any spinal injuries. Trey, I'm gonna get you to squeeze my fingers as hard as you can, okay? Hey, good. All right. Okay, now push. Okay. Let's take a look at your feet. I'm gonna raise those toes up to your nose, okay? As hard as you can. All right. Now push towards me. You pushing as hard as you can?
Yeah, I just can't move them that much.
Does that mean paralysis?
Or could it just be soreness?
Want to say something, Trey?
It was like this before I dived. That's why I fell.
Wait, your legs stopped working before you fell?
Oh, no, is this the first time something like this has ever happened to you?
It's been on and off, but they just get weak. It's never this bad, though.
Why didn't you say anything?
The qualifications for nationals.
You were with him at practice all week. You should have noticed.
Only because you finished work late all week, and I had to pick up the slack.
Guys, please.
Sounds like you are quite the accomplished diver, Trey.
He's ranked 3rd in Ontario for under 16s.
He's worked so hard.
That's impressive. Well, I'm gonna run a few tests, and when you're feeling up to it, I'll be back for a few more questions. But in the meantime, your job is to stay calm and rest. And your job is to make sure he can do that. Feeling up to a quick exam? It's easy, I promise. Why don't you sit up for me? Folks not around?
No, probably off somewhere finding new ways to hate each other.
Yeah. I want you to look at the pen, but don't move your head, okay?
Do you think my legs will get better? Because I don't know what I'm gonna do if I can't walk anymore.
What I can tell you is we're gonna do everything possible to find out what's causing this and to treat it. Can I get you to touch each finger with your thumbs like this? Must take a ton of training to dive at such a high level.
Yeah, 2 hours before school and then 2 hours after school and on the weekends, so, you know, pretty light.
Well, you must really love it. I guess there's not much time for anything else, though, huh?
I don't really get to see my friends, and I pretty much live in a Speedo.
Why don't you swing your legs over the side of the bed?
Yeah.
Good. Now just hang them all the way over and relax. All right. It's pretty good. Your folks know you feel that way?
My diving's kind of the only thing that's keeping them together. Kind of stupid. I'm almost killing myself instead of just being straightforward with my parents.
It's normal to not want to upset the people you're closest to. But that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, Trey.
Yeah, I know.
Your patient? Yeah, a 15-year-old with intermittent attacks of lower extremity muscle weakness and spontaneous paralysis. Brisk reflexes, symmetrical. Kid lost control of his leg, missed a dive and almost died instead of telling his parents he didn't want to compete anymore. It's a tricky differential.
I had a patient with similar symptoms, turned out to be transverse myelitis.
I thought it might be that too, but the clinical course has been intermittent, which makes it unlikely, but I ordered an MRI.
Thyroid disease?
THS and T4 were normal. Myasthenia gravis.
So he'd have extraocular muscle weakness, bulbar symptoms. You try telling the kid to nut up and tell his parents how he feels.
I did recommend that treatment.
Easier said than done, I guess. Families are tough. Present company excluded, I assume.
We all have our mountains to climb.
How's this potassium?
It's low, actually.
And the diving, he trains regularly, or?
You think it could be related to exertion?
I don't know, if the attacks are consistent with the exercise, maybe.
Thank you, Jim. Trey has what's called hypokalemic periodic paralysis.
That sounds serious.
Well, it's very rare and almost always happens to people under 20 with low potassium.
Periodic, meaning it's not permanent.
The disease itself is permanent, but the paralysis is not.
What do we do for him?
You manage it with diet and medication.
So he's not going to lose the use of his legs?
No. The muscle weakness will come and go, but Trey should be able to live very normally.
But he'll be able to train again.
I would recommend laying off a few weeks, but that'll have to be up to Trey.
Don't worry, honey. We're going to get you the best physio we can.
What if I don't want that?
Buddy, it's gonna be okay. I know you're a little freaked out.
No, Dad, like, it's not that. I don't want to dive anymore. And if that means that you two have to get a divorce, then it just has to happen.
You think that we're going to split up?
Aren't you? I mean, you two basically hate each other, and the only thing you have in common is my diving.
Trey, your father and I, we
never meant to make you feel that way.
Well, you did.
We're so sorry. That wasn't fair of us.
And you should only dive if you want to.